Uttarakhand, the 27th state of the Republic of India, came into existence on the 9th of November 2000. Carved out of Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand is a land so beautiful and bountiful with nature's bliss that even gods have chosen it for their abode. That is why it is called Devbhoomi, the land of gods. Uttarakhand is the home to four of the most worshipped pilgrimage of Indians, the Chaturdham of Gangotri, Yamunotri, Kedarnath and Badrinath. Ganga, Yamuna and a number of other sacred rivers originate from the glaciers of the great Himalayas of Uttarakhand. These rivers form the lifeline of India. Ganga is one of the holiest and most prominent river. It represents the soul of India and its rich civilization, history and culture. Ganga is not just a river, it is a major source of development of plants and plantations, agriculture and agroforestry through its tributaries throughout the state. Uttarakhand occupies 51,125 square kilometer of total land area, out of which 34,650 square kilometer, around 64%, is under forest cover. The state has a population of about 85 lakhs. Keeping in mind the sustained livelihood as social objective and aiming for improvements in environment and afforestation, Uttarakhand state has embarked on a revolutionary program of Jatropha plantation. Uttarakhand has a shining heritage of conservation and development of forests by the community participation. Lack of access to energy and electricity and rural poverty and backwardness are closely interrelated. Energy, especially electricity, is not only a prerequisite of a good quality of life, it is an indispensable input for productive and economic activities. Electricity is required for basic needs like pumping water for irrigation and drinking, lighting for learning and other works, and powering small-scale rural industries. Before independence, only 3,000 out of India's 6 lakh villages had access to electricity. Now more than 4.75 lakhs villages are electrified and government plans to provide 100% household electrification by 2012. Use of renewable resources to achieve the goal of energy security, especially for remote and inaccessible villages, is most crucial. Among the different renewable resources and technologies, the role of biofuels in meeting the future energy needs is gaining a lot of eminence. The crude oil price per barrel in the international market has already seen the peak of $146 to 147. Though the oil prices have cooled down since then, but the situation calls for some urgent steps to be taken collectively by governments worldwide, scientists and researchers, corporate and society as a whole. Fast advent of renewable fuels during last few years has demonstrated that an alternative to fossil fuels exists. The national policy on biofuels prepared by the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, which is under advanced stage of finalization, targets for 20% blending for the biofuels, bioethanol and biodiesel by 2017. The policy mandates that major thrust has to be given to research, development and demonstration, with focus on plantations, processing and production technologies, including second-generation cellulosic biofuels. Global biofuel production has tripled from 4.8 billion gallons in 2000 to about 16 billion gallons in 2007. However, the fact remains that still alternative fuels currently comprise less than 1% of total existing global fossil fuel usage. There undoubtedly exist huge growth opportunities for biofuels. One of the important concerns about wide-scale development of biofuels is if it would start competing with food crops and start displacing cultivable agricultural lands currently used for food crops when the demand goes up. There comes the big issue of biofuels versus food security. That is why the policy of Government of India is that biodiesel production will be taken up from non-edible oil seeds in only wastelands or degraded and marginal lands. Now the time has come when we should start thinking towards improving not only environmental conditions of our country but also look forward to improve the economic uncertainties in our rural areas, which is largely based on agriculture-based economy. And for this, in Uttarakhand, an alternative has been found in the form of State Biofuels Mission to solve such issues and be self-dependent and utilization of our natural resources, especially land resources, to the best of their potential. The wastelands cannot be converted into cultivable fertile lands overnight. Hence, intensive Jatropha plantation mission has been launched, which will not only help in containing deforestation but will also help in producing precious biofuel that will be used in diesel engines. Rudolf Diesel was the inventor of the diesel-fueled internal combustion engine. The diesel engines of today are refined and improved versions of Rudolf Diesel's original concept. They are often used in submarines, ships, locomotives and large trucks and in electric generating plants. PCRA launched a biodiesel credit bank. It will coordinate activities relating to carbon credits. Several field trials have been performed. ONGC has planned Jatropha plantation spread in over 5 lakh acres in eastern India. MOU has been signed between UBB, one panchayat and one nigam for planting of Jatropha nurseries. Plantation will be done by the Uttarakhand Biofuel Board, that is UBB, and will provide raw seeds to the one panchayat that will provide seeds to the selected beneficiaries to grow and maintain Jatropha nurseries only on their waste infertile lands as instructed by UBB. In this way, waste infertile land will be covered under greenery and fertile land will remain under food crop cultivation so that scarcity of food does not take place in our country as compared to the Western world. Once Jatropha plants start giving fruits in the nursery and seeds are ready for processing, beneficiaries will hand over seeds to the one panchayat. One nigam will purchase the seeds from one panchayat and will sell them to the Uttarakhand Biofuel Limited, that is UBL, for processing and extraction of biodiesel. UBL will produce biodiesel from the good quality seeds after manufacturing, but UBL is still under the testing phase. In all this process, the beneficiaries always make profits because it is the beneficiary who is paid for using and working on his own land to grow Jatropha nurseries.
और हम इस साल नए साल नर्सरी जट्रोफा की नर्सरी तैयार कर रहे हैं। हमने निर्णय लिया कि हम सभी महिलाएं इन नर्सरियों को अपने आप गड्ढे खोद के अपने आप लगाएंगे और ये हमने सबने मिलके लगाना है। हम 12 महिलाएं हैं सदस्य जो सभी मिलके काम कर रही है।
इस नर्सरी से हमें काफ़ी फ़ायदा हुआ है और इससे बड़ी आमदनी बढ़ी है।
The Government of India has also provided the facility for free beneficiary bank accounts in the village banks for straightaway depositing money in the account. The best part is that the amount paid to the beneficiary is done through check and is completely safe where no middleman is involved and hence no commission or fraud can take place. Beneficiaries get the complete compensation even if lifting of the nurseries takes some extra time. And the compensation in just one season is such that the beneficiaries would have never enjoyed even after growing the normal crop. There are around 40 odd nurseries in Uttarakhand where Jatropha plantation has been done, namely Chapnu, Guldek, Chachroti, Regaon, Bannakheda, to mention a few. Different self-help group comprising of 8 to 10 women work in these nurseries, and each woman carries their authorized beneficiary ID card. While appreciating the efforts, especially in Uttarakhand, Dr. Abdul Kalam, former Honorable President of India, said that the development of the nation is intricately interwoven with sustainability in energy and gave a vision for the country. It includes developing biodiesel from Jatropha carcass as alternative energy resource in the country. He emphasized that energy independence has to be our nation's first and highest priority in spite of all the odds owed. In each state, there should be a Jatropha biodiesel monitoring and coordinating agency. Example is Biofuel Board in Uttarakhand. At the national level, the setting up of a national biofuel mission is an example of people-centric cooperative network which can effectively conserve forests and can
पाए इससे जो बंजर भूमि है उसका सही उपयोग हुआ है और यहाँ पे इस जेटरोपा लगाने से यहाँ पे हरियाली भी आती है और दूसरा इसका कई उससे लाभ मिलता है हमको। रोजगार है, बरसात में रोजगार है, सभी लाभार्थियों को रोजगार मिला है।
जटरोपा का बीज इकट्ठा करता हूँ और वन निगम को भेजता हूँ, जैसे हमें उसे कुछ चीज़ से हमें लाभ मिलता है।
मेरा जो अपना अनुमान है, जो मेरा ये अनुभव रहा है अब तक का इस जटरोपा के संबंध में, तो मैंने ये देखा है कि ये विशेषतर झाड़ी नुमा, दक्षिणी ढाल, पूरब ढाल, पश्चिम ढाल जो हो वहीं पे इसका रोपण 1000 मीटर से नीचे पे होना चाहिए। और आने वाले समय में हमारा ये प्रयास रहे कि इस टाइप के क्षेत्र यदि हमें मिलें तो हम इसकी सफलता में निरंतर आगे बढ़ेंगे। और एक दिन ये जो हमारा ये अभियान है उत्तरांचल बायोफ्यूल बोर्ड का या उसके साथ वन विभाग का, ग्रामीण सहभागिता इसके साथ लाभार्थी जोड़े गए हैं, इन सब का प्रयास से